This is Sharon Vornholt with the Louisville Gals Real Estate blog, and I wanted to make a quick video today on how to use your local tax assessor site. And you can see up here in the search bar that I have typed in Tax Assessors Site, Houston, Texas. You would just simply type in whatever your area is. You can put in your city sometimes. I happen to put in the county when I'm looking mine up. So, well, somehow this came up Harris County, so maybe that's Harris, yeah, Harris County. So you would just click on that if that's where you lived, but you just put in Tax Assessor Site and then your location. Now, where I am is Jefferson County, Kentucky, and here we just call it the PVA, Property Valuation Association. So I have an account, a paid account here, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about. You can get some of the information free, and in areas you can get all of it free. Now, in my area, if you don't have a subscription, you get the address of the house, and I believe it's the amount that the house has been, the assessment, the amount of the tax assessment. So I need all of the information. So for $30 a month, roughly $30 a month, I can get a subscription to the Jefferson County PVA, and I use it every time I'm going to look up a house. So I'll log in and it will ask me for the address. So let's just say we'll put in this 13407 Lidcombe, and I don't remember if it's street or whatever. You'll notice here I'm putting in the address. If you had the parcel ID, you could put in that. And in some cases, especially when I'm looking up probates, a nursing home will come up and I will need to look up the person by the name of the owner. So and there's legal description and sales search, but almost always I'm going to be looking up a house by the address. So you just put in the address, and you just hit search, and you give it just a minute to search, and here's what's going to happen. It's going to bring up a picture of the house, and it's going to tell you this one I happen to know is a probate. So you'll notice this is the address of the property. This is the address of the person that is taking care of the house, the executor in this case, that is responsible for this property. So if we go on down, then you will begin to see the parcel ID and you'll see the assessed value. It tells you the deed book and page, which is helpful if you're writing a contract on the property, although you don't have to have it. But it gives you all this specific information on where it's located. It will tell you the square footage. It does not have a basement, and it does not have a garage. So you get a whole lot of basic information. There's also more than one photo. So let's see what comes up. There's one photo, which that is not even the house. That's the house next door, I believe. This is the house the way it looks today, and it will tell you some of the details of the property. It will tell you when it was built. When this listing was put in, it had wood siding. It now has vinyl siding. It had central air until it was stolen recently. It has one bathroom. The one thing that I really wish they had on here was the number of bedrooms. For some reason, it does not tell you the number of bedrooms. So I have no idea about that. But it'll give you a detailed sketch of the property. You can, it has a map in here that you can look at, and it will also tell you the sales history of the house. Sometimes those are very long, and sometimes they're not. In this case, you can tell that the high point for the property was back here in 2005, 2009, and that it's actually gone down in value. It tells you the legal description of exactly where it's located, and then there's some other things down here at the bottom that you can, about the actual PVA site. But here's one thing that is really helpful with the site. You can get tax information. So I can click on view tax information, and I can tell what the taxes are. I can tell that they were paid on 4/7/2014. The gross amount of the tax was $342.21. I believe they're due in December here. Because this wasn't paid until later, they had additional charges, and so the total amount of the tax went up. What is that, about $80 or something? Now, if you look here, there's a homestead exemption. People that are elderly in my city, and I'm sure it's everywhere, you can get a homestead exemption, and in my city that's $36,000. So if you go back to the taxable assessment was $32,360. That's why the taxes weren't very much. If you remember, the value of this house was roughly, I think it was $67,000. So if you add this number, the taxable assessment, to the exemption amount, that would be the amount that the property is valued at. So if we go back here, then we're back here and we see the house again. But check out your local property assessment. If you wanted to search for someone, let's go back to the search and let me show you one thing though. You want to, if you're going to search by owner, you want to try to get the name right. If you were to put in John G. Gardner, or let's say we're going to put in John Gardner. We're going to look this fellow up. You are, in most cases, oh, wait a minute. Let's see, owner. I think I did this wrong. Let me try this again. Gardner. Let's try it this way. That was it. Okay, last name first. You are going to see all of these people that are John Gardner. So if you are working, let's say you're working in probates and you're looking up houses, then you're going to want to get the name as complete as you can. But be aware that the name may be listed one way when it's recorded. For instance, John A. Gardner, and then the next time it may be listed J.A. Gardner. I was going to look through here and see if I could see, there's some people in here, some Gardners that have a lot of property. Okay. Gardner, John and Barbara. Gardner, John, D, and Barbara. You can see these are, you know, most likely the very same people. They own a lot of property, but they have been put in completely differently. So you're going to need to get creative sometimes with the names. If it were John Jason Scott, it might be John J. Scott. It may be J. Scott. It may be J. Jason Scott. So you'll have to get a little bit creative at times when you're looking people up by name. But that's just the basics of how you use your tax assessor site and of all the information that you can get from it. This site is just a wealth of information, and like I said, I pull it up every single time I'm talking with the seller. So look into it, check it out for your area, and I hope you found this video helpful.